So this pastor served his wife with the divorce papers, and his wife came on TikTok to expose him. When I tell you the tea is hot, the tea is hot. This lady came on TikTok to expose the pastor, expose the mistress. So, with her coming to tell her story, this alleged side chick or the alleged mistress also came online. She also took to TikTok to explain her side of the story. According to her, she's not a side chick, she's not a mistress. She dated the preacher for 3 years, 3 years before he then she find out that he was getting married to someone else. So when she found out that the preacher was getting married to someone else, they became friends. They stopped dealing with each other and became friends. But let me just play you the videos. I'm going to play you the videos of the wife, and then I'm going to play you the videos of the mistress response, and then I'm going to play you videos of what people have to say about it. All right, but
Hey y'all, let's play a game of put a finger down. Put a finger down if you met a man last year and he was just the best man in the world, or at least you thought he was. He was so intentional, he was so sweet, he was so thoughtful. He moved with purpose, he knew what he wanted, and he didn't play about you. You all dated for 9 months, and he asked you to marry him in April. Put a finger down if he announced your engagement in front of his entire congregation on Easter. Put a finger down if 2, 3 days go by and you find out that your fiance had been cheating on you for about a good length of your relationship. Not only had he been cheating on you, but he was cheating on you with a member of the church. He also had another relationship with another woman from the church, but it wasn't sexual. Didn't find this information out until after you all were engaged. You were livid, you were furious, you gave the ring back, you called off the engagement, you called off the wedding that you were planning, you canceled the dress that you ordered, all of this stuff. This man begged and pleaded and begged and pleaded and begged and pleaded and begged and pleaded for your forgiveness. After some time and work and like all of this stuff, and you making demands, and he met those demands, you thought to yourself, okay, like I asked him to do X, Y, and Z, he did them, he is serious. You decide that you want to work on this relationship and that you want to be in a relationship with him and all this other stuff. So you decide still to move to Minneapolis, uproot you and your son, leave your job behind, leave your family and your friends, and you come here to be this man's wife. You all get married and everything seems to be okay. You all have like little knickknacks, there's everything that you go through, like as marriages do, but you all are still very intentional with wanting to be together. You get married in August, you go to Italy for your honeymoon in August, and you get pregnant the first day of your honeymoon. Surprise! I am 13 weeks pregnant. You all get into an altercation in October. You decide that you are going to go ahead and take some time apart, so you go home for a week. You go home, and that's when you actually found out that you were pregnant. You end up coming back to Minneapolis. You all are working everything out, trying to at least, and then surprise, he moved out. He got an apartment. Thanksgiving comes around and he's back at the house. He still has his apartment, but he's been home every single day playing house. We've been eating together as a family. He's been taking your son to school. He's been coming back home in the evenings. He's been sleeping here. Like everything's been fine. Then last Saturday, you all get into an argument over a napkin. You get into an argument over a napkin, and he decides that he is going to leave. And you tell him, look, you're married. You can't keep leaving every single time you get upset. Married people don't have second residences. He decides to leave anyway. So you text him and you let him know that this is the last time that he will be able to walk out on you, your son, and your unborn child. You go to church that next day. Everything is fine. I mean, you are saving face. You're speaking to everyone. You're smiling. After church, you go up to your husband and tell him how great of a job that he preached, and that you asked him if he wanted to go get some brunch afterwards, like what his plans were, and he said that he had a headache and he was gonna go lay down. So I said, okay. So my son, we go to brunch with a friend and we come back and your husband is not here. Sunday evening, you try to get in contact with your husband and he still doesn't answer the phone. Monday comes around and you are sitting on the couch, folding clothes, doing laundry, and watching the P. Diddy documentary. The doorbell rings. You think that it is a package that your stepmom sent you all for Christmas. So you're not in a rush to answer the door because delivery people are going to sit it down. The doorbell rings again, so you get up because you are naked on the couch trying to fold laundry because the only clothes that fit are the clothes that you are washing because you're pregnant. You find something, you throw it on, you go to the door. It is a woman there. She asks, "Are you Tyler?" You say yes. She hands you a paper and says, "You've been served." I open the paper and it's divorce papers. You're so distraught. You don't know what's going on, why he would serve divorce papers, what happened to the point that divorce papers would be served. There was no conversation being had. You are literally a mess. You all finally have a conversation a few days later and you're like, you know what? I need you to be honest with me. Are you messing with anybody? And he tells you that he's been involved with a woman for the past month. Not any woman, but one of the two women that he was involved with in the beginning of your relationship. I'm putting all of my fingers down.
I am saddened and disheartened to have to make a video like this. I was going to allow it to pan itself out with the people that were involved, but the moment that my name came into it and screenshots are being posted with my name in it, I felt like I have to say something. I am not Mistress. I am not someone that is maintaining an inappropriate relationship with your husband or anybody for that matter. I am not somebody who wants to intervene or get in the middle of your relationship. What you should know is that this person and I dated for approximately 3 years. We started dating in June of 2021, and I also loved and cared about him. I also experienced all of the lavish trips and Michelin star restaurants and truly feeling like somebody loved and cared about me and truly felt like I could trust him. He and I maintained a relationship for about 3 years, and we lived together and everything. It was in the spring of 2024 that I found out some devastating news that my trust was broken and that I was humiliated. At that point, like you, I also tried to see if we could figure things out and maintain the relationship. That's not necessarily something that I would recommend to anybody today, but that is my truth. We decided ultimately in about May of 2024 that we were no longer going to attempt to work on our relationship and that we would cut things off. From that point, he and I did not maintain contact the same way that we had before. We really did take a lot of space from each other. And later on that year, he started to reach back out and ask if I wanted to go to dinner or brunch, etc., and would invite myself and my friends out. During these dinners and brunches, he would offer up that he is single, that he is by himself, that if he is going on these trips, he's going by himself, he's going on his sabbatical, and he's going by himself as a single man. To my surprise, he asked me to dinner in spring of 2025 of this year and let me know that he was planning to propose to someone. And I'll be honest and let you know that I absolutely crashed out in that moment because I felt like even though we weren't together, we had built a friendship over the last few months to where we could be honest with each other. I was frustrated because I felt like I didn't have a choice and that I didn't get an option of being able to walk away knowing that he was in a relationship with someone. I literally found out that you existed on that day. And when I checked in with other people, they let me know that they had been seeing your videos for a while and just thought that I knew. And that's why no one had told me. I talked to my mentor and he let me know that he was not about to propose, that he actually had already proposed to you before he said that to me. And I confronted him again and asked him why he had lied to me. I asked him what the reason was for not telling me that you were in a relationship this entire time. And he said to me that he didn't want to lose his best friend. I also that same day asked him if you knew about me and asked if he had talked to you about our past. And he told me he didn't think that that was necessary. I was really frustrated, and I expressed that to him that day, that I didn't think that it was fair for anybody to walk into a scenario as delicate as this one, considering the context, that anybody should walk into this not knowing what's going on, especially when there are plenty of other people in the congregation that know. From that point, I decided that I did not want to maintain even a platonic friendship relationship with him, and that my trust had been violated again at this point. And so I stopped communication with him, eventually blocked him on my phone, blocked him on social media, etc. It was October 25th of this year, which you know is his birthday, that I received a call that was not his personal number and not his social media, reaching out to me to let me know that he had been in what you would call an altercation that ultimately left him hit by a car. Again, I'll be honest and say that I thought in that moment, frustratedly, like, this is not my problem. I should not have to show up for somebody that has broken my trust on multiple occasions. But convicted, I felt like the right thing to do was to show up for somebody that you care about. And so, no, I wasn't showing up for him as a friend. I wasn't showing up for him as somebody that was looking for anything for him, not somebody that is looking to rekindle a relationship with him. I was showing up for him as somebody who had just gotten news that he was in the hospital and had been in a car accident. And I want to be clear, he and I have maintained a strictly platonic relationship since the spring of 2024. And so while I understand that there is extreme hurt, there is extreme frustration, there was extreme disrespect that has happened throughout this situation, while I understand that this is extremely humiliating and I would not wish this situation on anybody, I also will say that is not my character to maintain a relationship with someone that is in a relationship, or someone that, especially someone that is married. And so I truly hope that in all of this, that you all get what is owed to you, what is due to you. I pray that this is all worked out. However, I should not be the target for this anger. I truly do believe that it is misdirected. And to all of my friends, turned family, my community that have reached out throughout the last day and a half of everything that has been going on, for people that know the truth and know my story and know my character, that have shown up for me and supported me. Thank you for showing up for me. I really do appreciate that. And I hope that this all gets worked out, but I am not anyone's mistress.
Can I ask, what is wrong with people today, with women, with men, with relationships in general? Like, I opened up TikTok this morning, and the first thing that comes on is a pastor who cheated on his wife. They're getting divorced. The wife's pregnant. He resigned from church. All of that good stuff. But she knew he was cheating on her before they got married. Like, she had already knew the man had cheated, knew who this woman was, and still chose to marry him. Now, I'm sorry, but you're putting yourself in that situation. First off, if you're dating a pastor and you're supposed to be marrying a pastor and you find out he's sleeping with someone else, you have a huge issue, because A, the pastor should not even be sleeping with you before marriage, because, you know, that's a big thing in the Bible, saving yourself for marriage. And I would hope that a pastor would know that, considering that he's preaching the word every day. Not judging you if you have sex before marriage, that's whatever. I'm saying that as a pastor's girlfriend, if you're already committing sin with him and you try to like explain that as, oh, it's human nature, I'm going to marry him anyway, it's fine. That's one thing. That's just like you giving up on a little bit of the Bible just to fulfill yourselves. But when you already know that this man, who is a pastor of a church, is dating you, is marrying you, and is having an affair with someone else who he's been sleeping with for numerous years, and you don't see a red flag there, you're putting yourself in this. Because as a pastor, he should be morally right. He should do the things that the Bible says. He should preach on morals. He should live morally. Yes, I know that preachers nowadays, that is like one in a million that you get one that's actually preaches and lives his life exactly as he preaches. It's very uncommon. But as the woman, when you have a son, because she has like a 4-year-old son from a previous relationship, and you choose to marry this man who has already shown you who he was, you found out he had been cheating on you the entire relationship before you got married. You chose to believe that this man was going to change, that this man was going to now be faithful to you and only you, and that you were going to live a happy life. You put yourself here because he showed you. He literally showed you who he was. Like, he should have showed you who he was when he was trying to sleep with you when he was a pastor and he wasn't married to you. But when you found out he wasn't just sleeping with you, he was sleeping with another woman, all while going up on the pulpit every Sunday morning and preaching about values and family and sin and all of that stuff, and you chose to marry him anyway, what are you thinking? Like, I am sorry, you have issues. And this man, there is nothing godly about this man. And for him to say, I'm stepping away from church and I'm going to be back, if the congregation allows him to come back, then that's on y'all. Y'all can all go to hell with your pastor, because what are we thinking now? Like, I don't understand.
I'm trying to make somebody a victim who is an active participant in bullshit. That y'all don't listen. Let's roll the clip.
Inappropriate relationship with a member of his church while he was dating me. That person is the daughter of his former secretary. She reached out to me a few days after he announced our engagement on Easter on the phone, and she told me everything. The demand that I made was I asked him to let go of his secretary.
So she got the secretary fired because he was sleeping with the secretary's daughter. She got the secretary fired in this economy. She got the secretary fired because he was sleeping with the secretary's daughter. The secretary wasn't sleeping with the man. The daughter was. But she got the secretary fired. At what point, especially being a mother, because it pisses me off that she's already a mother, at what point do we stop saying, oh my God, they were so in love, da 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 da, that we like, be fucking for real. Common fucking sense. You have a child to worry about, but you worried about a man. He's dead ass wrong. Yeah, we know he's dead ass wrong for cheating. They are wrong. And y'all just want her to be a victim so bad. It was for aesthetics, so she'd go back to her sorority and sister and be like, I got a ring. She knew that man was cheating. She knew. Right after the engagement, before they got married. She got engaged, 9 months after she met him? Uprooted her kid's life? And got an innocent lady fired. And you're like, that lady knew she was a problem in their marriage. He was a problem in the marriage. Not the random secretary that she got fired or got him to fire. Y'all want her to be a victim so bad. I will not fall for that. She's dead ass wrong. He's dead ass wrong. All the people in the church is dead ass wrong. A lot of people in the church are delusional. My marriage, my man, delusional. At what point do we stop letting people be delusional when children are involved?
This man married his wife in August. It is now December, and he has served her divorce papers because he was out here dibbling, dabbling, cheating around with members of his congregation. And when I tell you the way that this man, like watching these videos, the way that he has the gift of gab and how the congregation is just like lapping it up, all the foolishness that comes out of his mouth. Like, he went on a whole apology rant talking about, you know, being named after someone in the Bible and how that like impacts your life journey, and how because his name's Elijah, he feels like Elijah and needing to go take time to get himself together. So he talking about the church is fasting. Like, why do we have to fast? Because you out here being shiesty. That doesn't make any sense. So the wife already has a young son. She completely uprooted herself and relocated to Minneapolis with this man. She's pregnant. and now has a lifetime attachment to this man. He's trying to self-impose his own consequences to try to curtail the consequences from God and the wrath from God for breaking his covenant that he made in marriage. And like that's not how this works. What have you. She was always referring to him as pastor. So she would be like recording like, yeah, pastor, me and pastor over here. And it's like, what is that? Because is he asking you to call him pastor and not his actual name? Like, of course, love baby Jesus down, but my love for baby Jesus is not going to make me talk like a robot. Because why are you calling your man pastor? That's your man. But religion can sometimes do weird things with people's minds, and then snap back. Some people do, some people don't. But yeah, so then the side chick, if you will, even though she had posted a video and she's talking about, we have been involved with one another for 3 years, and like I said, he was only married to his wife since August. Anyway, so yeah, so the mistress, if you will, is released her own video in her own statement, basically talking about how, like, what they had was real, and it wasn't just what have you, what they were just like messing around, like they had an actual relationship. She was heartbroken, but then I guess they still like maintained a friendship, which is very strange as well. But then halfway through her video, she then went from talking about this is somebody I was involved with to referring to him as her mentor. No. And I think like this is part of the issue. Like, people don't have boundaries. Like, if you were romantically involved with someone, probably a good idea to find a different mentor. If you really need a mentor, if you're looking for a spiritual mentor, why would you be using the same person that you was messing around with? Like, it doesn't have to be this person. And there should be something up top that's connecting to show why that's not appropriate. But people, I don't know if it's like intentionally like miss the obvious connections of inappropriateness in their behavior and lack of boundaries, specifically within, well, it doesn't have to be specifically within the church because audacity abounds, but I guess for the sake of the conversation right now, in the dialogue, within the church, like, if your pastor is married, there should be some order of engagement. The other woman was the daughter of his secretary. So then the wife found out just days after they got engaged, and one of the woman came to her as a woman. Imagine that. Imagine you uproot yourself from your town, your residence in another state. You meet this man who has love bombed you and flew you out and took you here and took you there and did this and did that and just doing all the things and talking all the language. Because like I said, he has the gift of gab. He's talking big stuff. Like, he's really selling it up. So you and your son uproot yourself to go become a wife and a first lady in a new state, and your fiance is parading you in front of the congregation while there's people in that congregation that knows what it is that he really be up to. And then to find out days later that he be gallivanting with other women in the ministry. The audacity. I would be remiss without adding, she's pregnant. The wife is pregnant. And then he serves her with divorce papers. Imagine that. She said, hey, I'll stick with you if you just, get rid of these other women, cut off communication, fire that secretary, because she knows she wrong for, hooking you up with her daughter and then also facilitating my travel and knowing that I exist. And she's like, if you just do that, then, we can work through it because we made a covenant and this is our marriage, And he was like, you know what? Divorce. And let me go apologize in front of my congregation so they can remain on my side.
You really ain't supposed to forgive nobody for cheating, but a motherfucker you really ain't never supposed to forgive for cheating is a pastor. You can't do that. If he would play in your face in front of God every Sunday, he's going to play in front of your face in front of God the rest of your life until he's done with you. I don't see how she didn't see that divorce coming soon as he got another place. What man about to leave the comfort of his home to find a new home unless he want a new home? You get what I mean? Y'all don't need to talk about divorce at that point in time. I don't care how much money a man got. If he has it set up that he's living his life with another home that you don't be at, you can't come to, it's not your shit. He's setting up another life for him and somebody else. Period. Period. And I really feel like he wanted to trap that girl and got what he wanted and was done. Like, for real, because there's no way soon as you pregnant he cool. Some of these pastors just as bad, if not worse, than dating a corner boy or something. Use money and gifts and all that shit to try to distract you from that they ain't shit. Because I promise you, if that was a poor pastor, you probably wouldn't have forgave him or put up with none of that. If he had a congregation of maybe 20 people, you wouldn't have been able to forgive him. You got to stop thinking because people successful, and especially because the church got them there, that they good people. People in the church be evil as fuck, especially the successful ones. The ones that don't really got nothing to their names is the ones that's putting money in their community and helping others and loving others and would be scared to lose you.
You got married to this man knowing that he was having an affair, regardless whether it was intimate or emotional. But anyways, he was doing something that went against the rules and the laws of preacher, or anything in committed relationship. You forgave him and you moved ahead with the marriage. You guys got married only in July. We are in December. We are in December. It's like 5 months, 6 months, 5 months. So it's soon. You guys are still supposed to be in your honeymoon phase, your first year of marriage. You haven't even passed your first year threshold of marriage yet, and you guys are already like getting a divorce. This is so sad to me. Now there's two little kids involved. You saw the signs, the red flags, and everything, because before you got married, it would have been different if you didn't know, you didn't see anything before you got married, nothing popped off or nothing before you got married, and then all of this just came out of the blue to you, and then you're just like, oh my goodness, I'm in shock. Like, where is this coming from? This is not the man I knew. But you knew this man. I mean, you had inkling of it. You tasted a little bit, so you should know he was probably talking or having those affairs with multiple women. Maybe this is the one that you found out about. But look at this lady now. They've been together, what, they was in a relationship, according to her, for 3 years. 3 years. That is a long time, to be with someone. But 3 years being with someone and then watching that person get married to someone else, it's not easy. It's not an easy thing. It's not just some feelings you can just bury, especially if you love that person. You know what I mean? But girl, I'm so sorry that this happened to divorce and you're pregnant at the same time, and then your marriage is so fresh, and I just hope you pray over it. Just take care of yourself. Don't stress. You're going to be okay. Don't stress over it. Take care of yourself and pray over it, and I hope everything works out for you. But let me know what you think about this story down in the comment section below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all in my next video.